Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here on my channel. My name is Simran Nath, and today we're going to talk about how to process a breakup. Now, if you've been on my channel, or if you've seen any other of my previous videos, you've seen that we've talked about kind of the questions that you should ask yourself if you're considering ending your relationship, how to go about having a respectful breakup. But now we're going to talk about the aftermath. We're going to talk about the things that you really don't want to think about. And it's probably part of the reason why so many people don't go forward in ending a relationship, because now we're going to be talking about how to process those emotions, how to process those feelings after you have a breakup. And I want to emphasize that you're not going to feel good. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to be a fun process whatsoever, and I don't care if you're on the giving or receiving end of this, whether you're the person who dumped somebody else or whether you're the person that got dumped. Either way, it's not fun and it's not easy. So I want you to acknowledge that, first of all, that this is not an easy process and it is going to be hard, and it's important to remember that. And also just remember what I said, this is a process, and I really compare breakups to deaths if that makes sense, because you are grieving in a way. You are grieving, not in a way, you are grieving. You're grieving a relationship. You are experiencing the loss of very deep and meaningful connection that you once shared with someone. So it's important that you give yourself grace and you give yourself time to kind of sit in with your emotions and understand and kind of go with the flow with them. And here are some of my suggestions that I think you should do when you're going through that process. First things first, do not go on the dating apps right away. Okay, seriously, don't do it. It's gonna be tempting, right? I know, I understand, but what you're doing is the reason that you want to go on these dating apps right away is because you want attention, and it's because you've been so used to getting attention. So now you're just okay, where else can I get this attention from? But that's not the correct way to process a breakup, especially when it's so fresh, especially when it's so new. And I'll be very honest, if you just got over a relationship, chances are you shouldn't be going back into the dating pool anyways. Give yourself some time, give yourself a breather, kind of just let yourself sit with your emotions. And again, to each their own. You're gonna do whatever the hell you're gonna want to do, but I promise you, if you hop onto the apps right away, after you break up, or even if you give yourself a couple of months before you do it, chances are you need to process whatever emotions you have before you go into the dating world again. And just remember to give yourself grace for that. Okay, so my advice is don't go onto the dating apps right away. Give yourself some time. When you do actually feel like you're ready to be emotionally available to someone, then go back onto the dating apps. But chances are, if you just broke up with someone, you're heartbroken, you don't know what to do, you're just trying to go back to a comfort zone of having someone to lean onto, or you're looking for attention, which is fine, I understand, but it's not the right way to go about it, or it's not the right way to find attention. Speaking of attention, the reason that you're looking for that, the reason that you're craving that, is because you need to understand that you're with somebody who is giving that to you constantly. So of course you're going to crave somebody's attention, especially if you're in a long term relationship, right? Especially the sweet words, the kind gestures, whatever the case is. But I think this is a moment for you to see that and understand that and pour back into yourself. So how can we do that? I want you to start investing in yourself. And I know this is a very key buzzword right now, invest in yourself, self-care or whatever. But what I mean when I say invest in yourself is, say whatever sweet words or those kind phrases that you're looking for, say them to yourself. This is where words of affirmation really come in play. This is where where you need to understand your words hold power, whether that's the words you say to yourself or the words that somebody else has said to you. So the better that you can speak to yourself and the kinder that you can speak to yourself, the healthier relationship will be with you, and in turn you'll be attracting healthier relationships for yourself. So this is just a win-win-win, baby. Another thing is to remember to pay attention to your health and to your wellness. Now this could mean so many different things, right? Maybe this means you are starting to take care of yourself physically again, whether that means just going back to the gym, just being more active, or eating better, whatever the case is. I think subconsciously we're very used to, especially women, like, you know, we're nurturers, we're very used to taking care of somebody else. Sometimes it can, we forget to take care of ourselves. If you're a woman of color, if you're an immigrant, if you're like, you know, first gen, whatever the case is, like, we're very used to making sure everything around us is doing well, making sure everyone else is okay before we're okay. But I promise you, and I promise this from like the bottom of my heart, you will be so much better to the people that you care about and like your loved ones and everyone that you want to help when you're investing in yourself and when you're doing better. Because once you're at 110%, once you're at 120%, you're not at 150%, guess what? You have that capacity where you're overflowing to give back to others, and you're not pulling from nothing. You're not like giving on E, you know what I mean? So this is why like investing in yourself and taking care of yourself in so many different ways is not only helpful to you but to everyone else around you. A breakup can lead to like depression, a breakup can lead to high functioning anxiety. Like these are things that are very real, and I don't think it's talked about. So just be mindful of those things. And if you do feel like you're entering a place where you're either not like, you know, functioning at the best way that you could be, check in with someone, you know, talk to someone about it. Like whether that's a therapist, whether that's a close friend or family, just have someone know that like, hey, I'm actually not doing so well right now, so I kind of just need that extra support, or whatever the case may be in that sense. Something else you really need to do is making sure that once you do go through your breakup, you surround yourself with your friends, with your family, and people that you just love and care about, and who love and care about you. And this is why it's crucial and it's so important that like when you get into a relationship, you don't push away your friends or your family or people that care about you just for like, you know, this one person. And trust me, I've been there, I've done that. Like I get it. Like, you know, if you're that girl, I've been that girl, and this is why I can like speak to this. Like, you know, just don't do it, because, you know, maybe someday that person won't be there, and what are you gonna do? Go like, you know, running back to who? Everybody that you pushed away? Like, no. Like, and you can't expect them to stay there either, you know? So just be mindful of that, and like, you know, remember that whether you have a relationship or don't have a relationship, there are multiple relationships in your life, whether they're platonic, romantic, family relationships, and all of them are equally as important, and they're all like, you know, relationships that you should care and nurture for. So when one drops, it's not like that was the only relationship that you had, and it's not like, you know, that's when it can feel like you're losing everything, or, you know, it's when like a breakup can feel detrimental to you, and that's not healthy, girl. Like, you know, if you find yourself in that situation, like, you know, we need to talk. We need to get you back up there, because you need friends, you need your tribe. Now if you have your tribe and you're just like, girls, I don't know what to do, this is literally when like girls nights, they come in handy. Whether that's staying in, going out, go on like a vacation with your girls too. Like, you just plan something to like look forward to. And that's like another way of, that's actually one of my other tips, is to like, you know, plan something that you're looking forward to in the future. Whether this is a vacation, maybe this is a move, maybe this is like, you know, another like major like event in your life. Like, you know, plan something that you have to look forward to in the future, so then that way, like, you know, you're kind of just like, if you find yourself getting like, you know, kind of like stuck in a situation, you're just like, okay, but this is coming for me, this is what I have to look forward to. And it could be super small. Plan something for yourself, and, you know, just understand that you're gonna get through this. And one of the last things that I'm gonna leave you with is understand that this is a very fun time. From someone who has kind of gone through a lot of these processes and a lot of these phases, like, I've learned so much about myself, and it's so fun. Like, you are a different person once you're like outside of a relationship, and you get to remember who you were before you enter that relationship. You get to remember who you are without that person, without that person's influence. And like, you know, that's like a fun thing to remember. It's like a fun thing to learn about yourself. And, you know, through this, you pick up new hobbies, you find new interests, and that really just comes from, like I said, investing in yourself, taking care of that time to really know what it is that you like and what you don't like. And that's so important for women to do at any age. Okay, so I know breakups can seem so painful and so like you don't know what to do, you feel lost, but there is a brighter side at the end of that tunnel. I guarantee you that. Like, I promise you there is, and it requires a lot of work, but the work that you're doing is not, it isn't for any, it's not for nothing. You will see it unfold in so many different ways, and it's beautiful to see your transformation. in my opinion. Like, I think it's so cool to kind of just like see where you are. And honestly, a lot of that is like through documenting it too. Like, you know, document the times that you don't feel great. If you don't think you're making much progress in like any aspect of life, I promise you, just journal and just go back and like read your journal like once it completes, maybe like after you start another one, and you'll just like remember what phase of life you're in, and you'll just be like, damn, I'm not the same woman I was like a month ago or 6 months ago, whatever the case is. And that's so cool to see, like, you know, or document it online, document it, like whatever the case is. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're going through a breakup, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna come out so much better. And just remember, this is something that you wanted, or maybe you didn't want, but it's something that needed to happen. Okay? Breakups start another transformation of growth, and growth is always a good thing. So I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys next week.